Okay, I'm all in. You show me like a little bit of personality, and I'm like, let's go, Malik Willis. He's not in your latest mock, but from what you saw today at Liberty Pro Day, what do you think about his skill set in general and everything that was on display? Well,
it was as good a pro day as I've seen. I mean, it was outstanding the way he was able to power the football. He showed the ability to layer the football, which is, showing some touch that you don't always see when you watch him on tape, on the game tape. The biggest thing, though, was what you see right there was that big smile and the personality that kind of matched his throwing in this workout. He brought a lot of juice and a lot of energy to the field there at Liberty.
The one thing that evaluators had a chance to see were just the raw tools and talent. And we think about the guys the last few years who had tools and talent that have made it: Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. They all popped at the next level. And so the big thing for Malik Willis will be scheme fit. Where does he land? What kind of scheme can they build around him? And who is coaching him? The talent is there. Can you maximize the talent by putting them in the right scheme and having the right guys whispering those QB nothings in his ear?
The sweet nothings, yes. Okay, so did he do enough today to move up in the first round? Because every year we see quarterbacks rise, especially this time of year.
Well, if you're going to ask me, he's not in this version of this mock draft. He will be in the first round. When it's all said and done, he's going to get himself up into that mix. Now, the question is whether it's going to be with the original pick in the first round for some of these teams that have needs up there in the top 10, or are we going to see what we saw with Lamar Jackson? You brought this up earlier today, Buck, where you see a team coming back into the bottom of the first round to take a Malik Willis. So, no, I think the odds are he's going to go in the first round. It's just trying to find the right fit for him.
He's too talented to get out of the first round. The talent is there. Now, we can talk about whether he's ready to play or not. That's a different question. But the talent is first-round worthy. And I think because of that, he'll be recognized as a first-round pick. And at the bottom of the first round, someone is going to get in there. They can call.
Well, then who might that someone be? Because we've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
Teams love to take advantage of that fifth year when they trade back in at the end, like Lamar Jackson and the Ravens did a few years ago. So who do you see as someone potentially trading back in?
I just look at one team, it's the Detroit Lions. I mean, that's the one that makes the most sense. They have the last pick in the first round. They have the second pick in the second round. So they can use a combination of picks. I think they could get all the way up inside the top 15 if they wanted to go back up there and get a quarterback. So you secure a player at number 2, you come all the way back up there and you get the quarterback.
I can't tell you how it's going to happen, but I can tell you that it should happen for the Seattle Seahawks. And the reason why it should happen is they had a similar player in Russell Wilson early in his career that could run around and make plays. So why not take Malik Willis and do the same thing? If you want to run this back and you're Pete Carroll and they said, Pete Carroll, you're going to run it back, build the championship program all over again, well, go and get you a quarterback that allows you to do what you want to do. Run the football, let the quarterback make a ton of plays.
The hardest thing, though, Colleen, with placing the quarterbacks in this year in mock drafts is that all of these teams, the majority of them, have backstop veterans. So they can line up and play. They aren't necessarily in a gotta have one of these quarterbacks. And if you hear they aren't in love with these guys, it's just hard to slot them in.
I will say I found it very interesting that the only 2 head coaches at his pro day today at Liberty were Mike Tomlin and Matt Rule. So file that away, do with that whatever you want, but just keep that in mind.